Hey, what's up, guys? Today I want to talk about the number one question I receive online every day. And the question is, how do I get noticed by scouts? I get this from players and from parents, and it's always the question that I get. The crazy part about it is, I'm not getting asked from kids that are juniors and seniors in high school or college kids or parents of kids at that age group. But it's by young kids and parents that have really young kids. I'm talking 13, 14, 15 years old, kids that are freshmen in high school. Some kids that aren't even in high school yet, they're in 8th grade. And I think this is a problem because we're worrying about the wrong thing. Too many kids and too many parents are worrying about, how do I get my kid noticed by scouts? And they're worried about traveling around the country and around the world and spending thousands and thousands of dollars and going to what now we have is thousands of different showcases around the country. We're worried about getting everywhere, and we've stopped worrying about developing ourselves as a player and doing what we need to do so that if a scout is in the stands or he happens to see us, well, he's going to take notice because, hey, we can do some things that can really help a professional team. Instead, we're worried about strictly getting to the scouts, and we're not worried about developing our game as much. When I was a younger player, and I was in high school and even in college, I never thought, what can I do to get in front of scouts? All of my attention from the time I was in 8th grade all the way to high school and through college was to make myself a better player. And that's it. If you make yourself a better player, if every day you go to the field, to the practice field, and you pick something to work on to make yourself a better player, whether it's offensively or defensively or base running wise or throwing, whatever it might be. If you take something every day and you work on it, well, after years and years of doing this, you might put yourself in a position that if a scout does see you, well, then he's going to like you, and maybe there's a chance that he drafts you. So that's the first thing. We're worried about making ourselves a better player so that if a scout does see us, well, he's going to take notice. So the second thing is, sometimes, for whatever reason, there have been players that weren't seen by scouts, and that were pretty good players. It doesn't happen a lot. If you're a really good player and you have a chance of getting drafted, somehow the scouts are going to find you. There's thousands of scouts around the country, and their job is strictly to find players every single day. I have seen a few guys that somehow slip through the cracks, and for whatever reason, they're from an extremely small school, they live in the middle of nowhere, whatever it might be. Maybe scouts somehow missed you. So what do? There's different opportunities to go around and play in places where scouts are going to be seen. And like I said before, a lot of these teams, a lot of the places that you'll want to go for scouts to see you, I'm not talking about any old showcase, because there's a lot of showcases now where you just give them money and they'll let you play, and there's not really many scouts there. But if you want to go someplace where there's a legitimate chance of a scout seeing you, a lot of times it's going to be by invitation, or you're going to have to be pretty good. They don't just let anyone in there. So a few of these examples, one would be area code games. A lot of guys are chosen from their local teams to go try out for area code games. Definitely a good place to go. A lot of scouts see kids out there, a lot of good players. You want to travel with, nowadays there's a lot of AAU teams. It doesn't have to be an AAU team, but you want to get someplace where usually during the summer there's one big tournament here or there. A big tournament that I know of, that I know a lot of scouts go to, is the East Cobb tournament down in Georgia. It's a wood bat tournament. Good place to go. Place where there's going to be a lot of college scouts, a lot of professional scouts there to watch you play. Very good tournament. And then when it comes to showcases, like I said earlier, there's thousands of showcases. Probably the biggest name showcase is Perfect Game. A lot of Perfect Game showcases are invitation only. There are some that aren't invitation. That's probably your best bet to get in front of scouts. It's going to cost a little bit of money, and there's nothing wrong with paying some money, because nowadays if you want to get out there a little bit and you're not just going to play for your home team, well, you're going to have to pay a little bit. But there's a difference between going to a showcase like a Perfect Game or going to a really good tournament like an East Cobb tournament, or playing area code games, and then just paying thousands of dollars to go to every single showcase you ever hear of. When you go on Google, type in showcases and just go to all of them. That's a waste of time. So remember, the first thing is develop your game. Become a good enough player so that if they see you, they're going to like you. And by doing this, you're going to give yourself more opportunities to get out there and play by showcases, tournaments, those type of things, which a lot of times are invitation only, where someone has to see you to let you play there. And those are the places you want to be, and that takes being a good player. So I hope this helps you out. I hope you understand now how you're going to be seen by a scout. And there's no magic way. There's no shortcut way. You've got to work on your game and develop it so that you're a good player so that you can go and do these things. Alright guys, hope that helps, and we'll talk to you later.